And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has once again skipped the ED summons, and that's what I want to talk about on the nation's sharpest opinion. Arvind Kejriwal, second time called by the ED, please come, explain your position, matter in Supreme Court, AAP being questioned, source of funding, people putting their statements on record, money being diverted for AAP, big issue in courts everywhere, multiple AAP leaders in jail, Sanjay Singh being denied an opportunity to be out during the new year, court says stay in jail for a little longer. You have a person who's being given the code name Alpha, who's singing like a canary. We don't know who this person is. Some people are seeing these one of top AAP insiders who are now revealing everything about Arvind Kejriwal, whatever the facts, see viewers. But you got to be there. You got to be there when you're called by the agency. You can't keep saying, I'm not going to come. Last time he said, I'm busy with the elections. This time he says, well, I have to do some Vipassana. I have to go for some meditation. Last time he's campaigning for an election. His party drew a blank. This time his very close aide, Raghav Chadha, says that everyone knew that Kejriwal had a scheduled meditation course to attend. And since the meditation course, the Vipassana course, is a pre-scheduled meditation course, how can Kejriwal make appearing before the agencies more important than the Vipassana that he has to go through? Because Vipassana is very important for Mr. Kejriwal. And everybody should understand that if Kejriwal does not go through Vipassana, how does it matter that his closest ring of confidants are in jail? That almost his number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, all top leaders are in jail. If Arvind Kejriwal wants to avoid responsibility is one thing. But the way it's looking now is very shady, ladies and gentlemen. Because even if Arvind Kejriwal prioritizes his campaigns, his Vipassana, his meditation over answering the agencies, I think he owes an explanation on the specifics of the Liquorgate scam to the people. What is the scam? The scam is that allegedly the Aam Aadmi Party devised a plan that it has to make money to fight the elections, and they said we are going to do this little scam with the liquor manufacturers. They'll take some money, we'll make some money, we'll make some hundreds of crores, we'll go fight the national elections. And the argument against the charge against the Aam Aadmi Party is that it sort of reverse engineers everything it does, looking at its larger political agenda. So the Aam Aadmi Party says, see, we have to be in power at the center. So what if we do some corruption? We got to make some money. Everybody makes money. But then, Mr. Kejriwal, that is exactly what you came to politics to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, a few years back, Arvind Kejriwal used to do public referendums on whether he should resign as chief minister. Today, the same man, much political power in, seems to have a no two hoots approach on getting specific on the Liquorgate scam. Shouldn't Kejriwal answer on whether handwritten notes were exchanged at his house? Shouldn't he answer on whether major changes were made under his watch? Shouldn't he answer whether he knew Vijay Nair and whether he said, let Vijay Nair do whatever, he is my boy, he has my mandate? Should he not explain that? Because if Arvind Kejriwal says that Vijay Nair was carrying out all this corruption on his own, and if the ED has any proof that he was not, then the ED will confront Arvind Kejriwal with the proof, and Arvind Kejriwal will have to respond. Simple thing. Both matters will go to court. Court will decide whether Kejriwal is guilty. These are questions. There is a process. Are these not questions the people deserve to know? Kejriwal despises the agencies, doesn't like them, fine. But he needs to answer. And even if the morality of it is aside, then tomorrow if the ED, after 2 unanswered summons, shows up at his house to question him or to arrest him, I'm asking this, I'm not saying it will happen. I'm not saying it will happen. But tomorrow, the question we must answer tonight is, what choice does the agency have now? Arvind Kejriwal seems to have made up his mind that he will not appear before the agency. Should the agency say, okay, Mr. Kejriwal is the chief minister, we won't do anything? What kind of precedent will be set then? If they arrest Kejriwal, will the same AAP then say democracy is in danger? If the ED moves an application to issue a non-bailable warrant a non-bailable arrest warrant against Arvind Kejriwal, then will Arvind Kejriwal say that the BJP is trying to quell his voice? Tomorrow I have many people appearing on my program tonight. One of them is a friend of mine, Sohail Seth. For example, and God forbid, just joking, I hope Sohail doesn't take it seriously. But if Sohail Seth tomorrow is told that Mr. Sohail Seth, you are accused in the Liquorgate scam or this scam and that scam, then Sohail, if he doesn't appear for 3 times, or for Basuri Swaraj doesn't appear 3 times, or if they are on the screen, if Piyush doesn't appear 3 times and the court turns up at Sohail's wonderful apartment and says, Mr. Sohail Seth, we are going to arrest you and pick you up. And Sohail says, oh my God, democracy is in danger. Then who's going to give a 2 hoots approach to Sohail Seth? Nobody will. Sohail, sorry, I mean you well, my friend. I have nothing against you, but you know what I mean. People will say, Sohail, you are 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 times to appear before the court. But if Sohail says, I'm off to London, New York, I'm off flying there in my private yacht, I have no time, or Vipassana, who's going to?
No, I don't. Now you're pushing it. I don't even have a.
Nobody will. Nobody will.
A private yacht. So anyway, let's come to that later. I hope तुम्हारे मुंह में घी शक्कर. But I think there are 2 interesting points.
You come after a long time, so I'm having some fun with you. No, you have come after a long time, so I'm having some fun on the debate tonight. Oh, my friend, don't take it.
Like the
my question is, so no, I haven't started the debate. One minute. I haven't started the debate. I haven't started. Sohail, I got you started there, but let me start the debate. I only gave that as a precedent, as part of my long introductory monologue, that I believe that Kejriwal should appear before the ED and not create a situation where a non-bailable arrest warrant is put before him and there is a lot of drama. If there is drama, I believe nobody will have any sympathies this time. Now, let's start the debate.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has skipped Enforcement Directorate summons once again in the Delhi liquor policy case. A day before his appearance before the Central Probe Agency, the Delhi Chief Minister has left for a 10-day Vipassana retreat. Kejriwal has repeated this line that the ED summons were politically motivated.
The Enforcement Directorate maintains that during the course of the investigation, they've come across evidence that a FaceTime call was made between Vijay Nair, Sameer Mahendru and Arvind Kejriwal. In fact, on that particular call, Arvind Kejriwal introduced Vijay Nair, the communication manager of Aam Aadmi Party, as his boy. Not just that, the Enforcement Directorate also suspects that as part of the proceeds of crime, the political party, Aam Aadmi Party, has actually benefited from it. And as a national convener of the party, it is Arvind Kejriwal who will have to do the explaining.
The 4th top Aam Aadmi Party leader who has been embroiled in this legal controversy after Manish Sisodia, Satyendra Jain, Sanjay Singh. The arrest of 3 senior Aam Aadmi Party leaders has exposed the line that his party leaders are completely innocent.
सबसे पहले दिल्ली को भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त कराया जाएगा साथियों, सबसे पहले दिल्ली को भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त। आम आदमी पार्टी की तरफ से मैं ऐलान करता हूं कि एक भी विधायक हम ऐसा नहीं भेजेंगे जो कि गड़बड़ा। फिर भी अगर हमसे कोई गलती हो गई तो अगर 1 नवंबर को दिल्ली का चुनाव होगा और 31 अक्टूबर को आपने मेरे को लाके सबूत दे दिया कि देखो ये फलाने आपके कैंडिडेट के खिलाफ ये भ्रष्टाचार का सबूत है, साथियों उसकी टिकट कैंसिल कर देंगे, सीट खाली छोड़ देंगे, लेकिन गलत आदमी को हम विधानसभा में नहीं देंगे।
हमारे आम आदमी पार्टी के एमएलएज पे अभी तक 170 से ज़्यादा केस कर चुके हैं, 170 से ज़्यादा। बोले बस घोटाला कर दिया केजरीवाल ने, सड़कों का घोटाला कर दिया, बिजली का घोटाला कर दिया, पानी का घोटाला, इतने घोटाले, इतनी जांच करा ली, कोई ईडी की रेड नहीं हुई, कोई सीबीआई की रेड नहीं हुई। छोटे छोटे आम लोगों से हम लोगों की क्या औकात है कि
हम आपकी ईडी और सीबीआई की धमकियों से डरने वाले नहीं हैं। चाहे दिल्ली हो, चाहे पंजाब हो, हम यहाँ के लोगों के लिए काम करते रहेंगे।
यहाँ विपासना के पीछे छुपने की कोशिश अरविंद केजरीवाल कर रहे हैं। कुशासना और विपासना साथ साथ कभी नहीं चल सकता है। यदि आपने कुशासना किया है तो बाद में जेलासना होगा ही होगा।
How much more longer can Arvind Kejriwal dodge the investigating agencies? Let's debate.
And ladies and gentlemen, solid debate coming up with Masuri Swaraj, BJP spokesperson, taking on Anjali Rai, national spokesperson AAP, and of course Dr. Piyush Joshi, who backs the AAP. And I start with Sohail. Sohail, let's come to the basics, Sohail. What is, in your view, what is Kejriwal's game plan? He has written to the ED saying, I believe this is political. He has rejected summons 1. He has rejected summons 2. He knows, he has lawyers, he knows exactly what will follow if he rejects summons 3. They're going to land up at his door with a NBA and execute it for non-compliance and non-cooperation. What's his game plan, in your view?
So his game plan very clearly is to play victim, to play the person who's been wronged against, that this is a witch hunt, and he's prepared the ground. To be fair, he's prepared the ground very well. Look, let's give Arvind Kejriwal some credit. He is an astute politician. He's no longer the Aam Aadmi that you and I thought he was. And to my mind, he never was. He was always Khas Aadmi. Number 2, he has realized that he will play the same game as the BJP wants him to play, but he will play it with greater arrogance and with a daredevil attitude, a cavalier attitude. To my mind, I as a citizen have only 3 things to say. Number 1, if Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by the ED and refuses the summons twice, once I can understand, he was on election duty, which is fair enough. Number 2, Vipassana. I mean, will you give people who have committed crimes of an economic nature कि भाई आप विपासना पे जा रहे हैं इसलिए हम लोग कुछ नहीं करेंगे? It sets a bad precedent. Number 2, my problem with Kejriwal is that Kejriwal came as such a beacon and as such a breath of fresh air. He came as a person who was like one of us. He was willing to go to the gallows, he was willing to take the rap, but he would not sacrifice. Today, unfortunately, he's playing the game like every other politician he has abused plays. So he's no different anymore. The third is my grouse with the ED. Why is the ED allowing this to fester? Why is the ED not taking steps which are legally permissible?
Exactly.
No, you're right. He has all the lawyers at his command, as he should. For God's sake, give Aam Aadmi Party credit. In less than 10, 12 years, they are now running 2 states. So you have to doff your hat to Arvind Kejriwal. But Arvind Kejriwal must realize he is only Arvind Kejriwal. He's not bigger than the law of the land. He is not someone who will tell the agencies when they are ready. It's not that he will decide कि भाई मैं आपको कब मिलूंगा, मैं आपसे कब interview लूंगा. That's ridiculous. And it sets a bad precedent. It's bad for the ED. It's bad for law and terribly bad for a man who stood for millions of Indians as the hope of a fresh breath of air.
Now, that's a fantastic opening statement, Sohail, as usual. I want to go to the AAP spokesperson and Piyush, and then I will come to Basuru. You can respond completely. First question, Anjali ji, how does it look? How does it look? Today, a Delhi court extended the judicial custody of Arvind Kejriwal's till recently right-hand man Sanjay Singh till July 10th. Satyendra Jain is in jail. Manish Sisodia is in jail. So many people who have worked with Kejriwal is in jail. Kejriwal should be fighting for them instead of going off to Vipassana. It's not looking good. The feeling one gets is that Kejriwal doesn't care what happens to anyone as long as nothing happens to him. That's the sense one is getting.
Arnab, the whole nation is watching that BJP is totally scared of Arvind Kejriwal's model of governance. It's growing popularity. Since so many years, it has been ruling in so many states of India, but it has never been able to give good education, good schools to the children of our country, which can match with the private schools. It has not been able to give free electricity, free water to the poor people. It has not been able to give free health services, free health mohalla clinics in every nook and corner of any state. And this popularity is increasing day by day. As Sohail also said, that in last 10 years, it has become the national party of the country. So they want to crush the party completely, and they want that all the leaders should be behind the bar so that the party is completely crushed. But the whole nation is watching what they are doing. Nowadays, only one law prevails in the country, and that is that if you speak against the BJP, then you are a criminal, and then ED and CBI will follow you and you will be put behind the bar. But if you are declared a criminal by
Anjali ji
or CBI, let me complete. But then you join BJP, like we said in recent days, this Ajit Pawar or Hemant Biswa Sarma, and in so many other cases, all the people who were declared criminals by
Anjali ji.
ED.
Anjali ji,
when they change
Anjali ji, this is a matter. Anjali ji, this is a matter which is now before the Delhi court, before the High Court, before the Supreme Court. Liquor Gate is before every court in the country. This entire investigation is subject to the most detailed judicial scrutiny. Nobody, sir, nobody, ma'am, not the Prime Minister of India, not the Home Minister of India, not the Finance Minister of India, nobody, and I'm going to coming to you, Basuri, nobody can interfere in a process that is under this level of judicial scrutiny. I'm saying that under Section 50 of the PMLA Act, you have to go before the ED.
The problem is this, no?
There's something else going on here, Basuri. Now, Basuri, my question to you is this. Basuri Swaraj, my question is this. Sohail began by saying that Arvind Kejriwal runs a mega political corporation, has top lawyers. He may be angling for something. Maybe he wants the ED to come, arrest him, drag him out of his house so he emerges a hero in this. Is that the intention in this case?
The Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, is actually a thespian leader. He is very well versed in theatrics. So Mr. Sohail Seth is absolutely right. He wants that the ED should actually go to court, get a non-bailable warrant issued, and should come and arrest him or should come and question him at home, and basically should mandate his appearance in court. But Arnab, you're right. Section 50, subsection 3 of the PMLA Act makes it mandatory for anyone who has been summoned by the enforcement director that they must answer the summon. Mr. Kejriwal, the Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi, is a master of U-turn. He is somebody who used to say, "Mujhe jaanch se dar nahi lagta." He always said that he was volunteering to actually join the investigation. But today, he is doing absolutely the opposite. He is giving such flimsical excuses as going for a Vipassana workshop. Arnab, he is a very khas aadmi in the garb of an aam aadmi. Would a normal, common person, would he be allowed to actually write such a reply or response to summons by the enforcement director that I am going on a meditation camp, practically a spiritual holiday for 10 days, and I am unwilling to actually honor the summons? And Arnab, you're right, he's a very inconsiderate leader. Today, close aides of Mr. Kejriwal, Mr. Manish Sisodia is in jail, Mr. Satendra Jain is in jail, Mr. Sanjay Singh is in jail. Just today, the judicial custody of Mr. Sanjay Jain has been extended. And it seems that Mr. Kejriwal is completely unbothered. This is unfathomable for me. And I must answer Anjali ji. You know, Anjali ji said that the BJP is scared of the Kejriwal model of government. Respectfully, Anjali ji, the Bhajpa does not need to be scared at all of the Aam Aadmi Party, because the Aam Aadmi Party contested in more than 200 seats across Rajasthan, across Chhattisgarh, across Madhya Pradesh and Telangana. And not even a single seat has been won by the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, Nota actually got more mandates from the people of India than the Aam Aadmi Party. Regarding what you're saying that the summons are politically motivated, I'm just going to read one sentence, Arnab, from the judicial order passed by the Honorable High Court of Delhi on the 20th of October 2023. This is paragraph 85 at page 49. From page 47 to 49, the Aam Aadmi Party lawyers in court only submitted on the aspect of the summons being politically motivated. And this is the judicial finding. I'm just placing one sentence. It says, para 85. This court will not insinuate or impute any political motives to the investigating agency in absence of any material on record and does not consider it a prima facie case of no evidence at all. Now, you may not believe the BJP, you may say that that we have an agenda against the Aam Aadmi Party, but are you imputing political vendetta to the courts of this nation?
No, Arnab.
No, you know,
As Bansuri
I think,
said, who will Aam Aadmi
I think Piyush,
trust?
let me get Piyush in, Sohail, briefly. Let me get Piyush in, Sohail. Piyush, I think that the courts will take a very dim view of this. Because I think the courts have already made it very clear they believe there is a very strong case here. Your basic argument is that there is no case. This is not the only observation, Sohail. There are many observations, Piyush. There are many observations of the court which is clear that there is a very strong case, Piyush. Please unmute yourself. Now, if the courts believe there is a strong case and you say, I don't give a damn, I will not cooperate.
Okay, can you hear me
Then
now?
at some point of time, you're going to get convicted by the same court.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
And when you get convicted by the court, there will be no sympathy.
Fair enough. Now, can I reply to that? So let the courts decide in due course of time which kind of view they want to take, whether they want to take a dim view or a magnanimous view. It's for the courts to decide. Now, as far as Mr. Kejriwal ji is concerned, and as far as it being a political witch hunt is concerned, we have debated upon it times immemorial. We know it is a politically motivated witch hunt. We know it is a dictatorial form of governance which Mr. Modi is running at the top. We have seen it in the recent days in the parliament, in the way the
No, but the courts don't think so. But the courts don't think so. Piyush, the courts don't think it's a political witch hunt. The courts feel there is a very solid case. The courts feel there is a very solid case. The courts are denying bail. The courts are asking for more evidence. The courts have statements before them on record, witness accounts and proof.
Now, let me respond to what you are saying. The courts have not adjudicated finally on any of the matters as now. They have only made interim observations on the various aspects of the cases. They have not made any final decisions. They have not yet proven anybody as guilty, in these particular cases. So let us reserve our thoughts on.
Yeah, but tomorrow if the court says, but tomorrow, Piyush, if the court says, and I think Basuri is a lawyer, 1 minute. Sohail, no, 1 minute. You see, you're painting yourself into a corner. Tomorrow, I put this to Basuri and Sohail and then the AAP spokesperson can respond. If the courts say, what is going on, this is so wrong, we will issue a non-bailable warrant against Kejriwal. Suppose tomorrow headline is non-bailable arrest warrant against Kejriwal. Will that look good? Who will you blame then? You'll blame the court. It's coming down to that. अंजलि जी आपको सोचना पड़ेगा कल अगर हेडलाइन हो जाए कि अरविंद केजरीवाल के खिलाफ कोर्ट ने नॉन बेलेबल अरेस्ट वारंट इशू की, कैसा लगेगा
वो हम
आपको?
और हमारे लॉ एग्जामिन कर रहे हैं।
हाँ जी,
आपको चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है। Let the court give non-bailable warrants. Let them issue the
चिंता नहीं, मैं तो सवाल कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ, नहीं तो आप कह रहे हैं अच्छा लगेगा या नहीं अच्छा लगेगा, आपको ज्यादा चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है। हमारे लॉयर्स उसको एग्जामिन कर रहे हैं और जो भी होगा हम लोग देख लेंगे क्या करना है। It's our prerogative to decide now. We'll decide it.
No.
मगर जो
1 minute.
ऐसे तो डीएमके भी बोलती थी 2G के बारे में और आप लोग कुछ अलग बोलते थे उस वक्त। Sohail is responding. Basuri after Sohail. Sohail.
He's not going to
It's
depose
getting
the
interesting, viewers.
Piyush, one minute.
How do you know?
Piyush made an observation.
Himself?
Piyush made an observation where Piyush said that, look, let the courts adjudicate as and when they do. Fair enough. Absolutely valid. But Piyush, it's the same courts which have refused to give relief to a certain set of Aam Aadmi Party leaders as we speak. What does that indicate? That indicates that the court is satisfied that their current arraignment or their current incarceration is required for this case to come to its logical conclusion. So that's number one. The courts therefore have not given anyone any reprieve. On the contrary, they have denied the relief that your party people, and not your party, I mean Aam Aadmi Party people have sought. So relief denied. Number two, I'm asking you a very simple question, Piyush, as a citizen to citizen. If everyone starts violating the sanctity of summons which are prescribed by law, where does the sanctity lie? Because you will not budge as far as the courts are concerned. You will not respond to summons.
Superb.
Which is that higher force that Arvind Kejriwal is willing to accede to? Which is that higher force? Because whatever happens, if the judiciary votes, if the judiciary advocates against you, mark my words, Piyush, you may not say it because you're a reasonable man. Anjali may not say it, but there'll be people saying, "Arey, judiciary Modi ji ki pocket mein." So do your damn, don't your damn. I'm saying, where are the good, positive optics for the citizen of India? You just answer that from a logical perspective.
Now, from the logical perspective, if I can just make a brief observation.
I am only pensioning a point here. Many.
Can I respond? I think there's an audio lag. So I'm just responding a very brief comment. You know, the nature of summons is such that if summons are given and if there is a reply which is submitted that we have this program from this date to this date, kindly give us another date, so that that is for the courts to decide if they allow him to depose at a future date in the course of action. So that's fair enough. Whether who are we to say that he's not going to depose himself before the enforcement directorate?
No.
He may be deposed in the future, maybe 7 days down the line, maybe 10 days down the line. So to say whether
I think he has
is never going to present himself before the enforcement directorate.
No.
Very, very unlikely.
No, Piyush, let's look at the legal point here. I think Basuri is picking up something from the law here. I am not a lawyer, but I'll tell you this.
Neither am I.
As far as I know, today, if the ED goes to court will issue non-bailable arrest warrant. Then they will show up at his house, question him. If they have evidence, they can say this man is showing a history of non-cooperation, arrest him. With an NBW against him, the chances of arrest are high. And the basic point is this. When is a person arrested and kept in custody? When the possibility of that person influencing witnesses is there, he's influential. Kejriwal is influential. When the possibility of that person being non-cooperative by nature and track record is there. He has already proven that he is non-cooperative by nature. When he has put on record that he will not cooperate with the process, he has already written a letter. In these set of circumstances, I don't think any court will say, let's treat him like a VVIP. So things may get more complicated with this non-compliance. Basuri.
VVIP. Of course, he is not going to be treated like a VVIP. He is going to be treated like a common man, and fair enough. So that's fine. And I'm sure that he's going to depose before the enforcement directorate.
No, let's hear Basuri's take. Where is this headed is my question.
Piyush ji, Honorable Chief Minister Kejriwal ji is definitely not behaving like a common man. He is certainly behaving like a VVIP. Section 50, subsection 3 of the PMLA. The wordings are all the persons so summoned shall be bound to attend in person or through their agents. Basically, Section 50, subsection 3 makes it mandatory for you to attend and honor the summons and then imposes a duty on you to say the truth. That's number one. Second, you were talking about how the judicial process, please allow me to. You said that the judicial process will take its own course. I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you. right? On the 13th of December 2023, Mr. Sisodia's bail was rejected for the 7th time. The Honorable Supreme Court of India actually dismissed even his review petition asking for bail, which means that the courts of the land think that there is a prima facie existence of evidence and existence of a case against them. Right now, we are in the realm of investigation. If Mr. Kejriwal has nothing to hide, as he keeps on saying, then why not come and join the investigation? Atishi ji and Saurabh Bharadwaj ji, all the ministers of Aam Aadmi Party keep on saying, हम ED और CBI की धमकियों से डरते नहीं. ईडी और सीबीआई धमकियां नहीं देती, वो केवल जांच करती हैं, इन्वेस्टिगेट करती हैं. Why is the chief minister scuttling from the investigating process? And lastly, you said that this is all politically motivated. You talked about the Modi government being dictatorial. Piyush ji, you're a political analyst. Please, I say this with a sense of responsibility. Have you forgotten that Madhya Pradesh is the only state where anti-incumbency was not even in the minds of the people? And have you seen the landslide victory that the Modi government and the Modi administration and their development politics has gotten? So please don't make these kind of irresponsible statements just to actually protect Kejriwal ji's misconduct.
150 odd members of parliament. That gives you a right to suspend 150 odd members of parliament. That gives you a right to misuse ED and CBI as the tools of investigation, as the tools of political operation.
1 minute.
Come on.
No, there is nobody. You see, 1 minute.
No. Piyush, I will disagree with you, my friend. Bad behavior is not to be condoned at the altar of democracy. Because you want to justify democracy, you can't behave like lumpen elements. You and I are not paying for Parliament to function so that people behave like lumpen elements. And I agree, the law should be the same for every MP. But don't make bad behavior a political issue. It's a behavioral issue.
During the 2G issue, when respected, the late Mrs. Sushma Swaraj was the leader of Lok Sabha, and leader of BJP in the Lok Sabha, and Arun Jaitley ji was the leader of BJP in Rajya Sabha. They did not allow.
But Piyush, my own sense is, my own sense is, may I intervene? Piyush, we have to be logical about where this is headed. People ask me what is my view on what's going on. Can I just give my view and then get Anjali ji to respond? Anjali ji, Arvind Kejriwal is a politician. The BJP is a political party. Right? No political party, no government, no investigating agency will take a chance in a case against Kejriwal unless there is some really solid evidence. Have you asked yourself, Anjali ji, why is Kejriwal being summoned at this stage of the investigation? You see, till now there are questions of handwritten notes exchanged at his house. Then there is Manish Sisodia's then Secretary Arvind, who has confessed to the ED that he was called by Sisodia to the house of Kejriwal, given a document. They said wholesale margin will be 12%, right? Then there is Vijay Nair, who was very close to Kejriwal, who's linked to the main accused. A FaceTime call between the Liquorgate scam accused and Kejriwal. Samir Mahindra spoke to him. 100 crores used in the Goa elections. Right? Arvind Kejriwal's personal assistant, Vibhav Kumar, summoned by the ED in February 2023. Then YSRCP MP MS Reddy, prominent member of the South Group, allegedly met Kejriwal. Now, Anjali ji, without solid evidence, ED will not move against Kejriwal even to question him. But if they are calling him, which means there is some solid proof they have, maybe, I'm not saying Manish Sisodia has gone against Kejriwal or Sanjay Singh, but who knows who has become an approver? आपको पता है कि सिसोदिया जी अप्रूवर नहीं बने? क्या आप श्योर है कि संजय सिंह अप्रूवर नहीं है, सत्येंद्र जैन अप्रूवर नहीं है, विजय नायर अप्रूवर नहीं है? No, there must be some solid proof that has come out, no? So,
I want to ask one
my question is, don't you think without solid evidence, ED would not even have called him? My question is, without solid evidence, ED would not even have called Kejriwal. Agree or disagree?
ED किसको बुलाती है वो बीजेपी की मर्जी होती है. I want to ask you what happened to Ajit Pawar's case. प्रधानमंत्री जी कह रहे थे 70,000 करोड़ का घोटाला है, चक्की पीसिंग एंड पीसिंग। अजीत पवार को ईडी ने कहा कि ये कहाँ गया उनका केस, क्यों नहीं उन्हें बुलाया जा रहा, क्यों उनको दिया गया डेप्यूटी प्राइम सीएम बनाया गया, कहाँ गया उनका केस, कहाँ गया हेमंत?
नहीं आप ये क्या लॉजिक है, ये लॉजिक क्या कोर्ट मानेगी अंजलि जी? ये लॉजिक कोर्ट मानेगी कि मैं नहीं जा रहा क्योंकि अजीत पवार को पहले बुलाया जाए? सोहेल रिस्पॉन्डिंग देन।
आप मुझे बताइए, आप मुझे बताइए।
आई एम आस्किंग अंजलि, since she represents the Aam Aadmi Party, which always believed that it was a force unto itself and different from the others, do you really want to get to a level where you're comparing Arvind Kejriwal with Ajit Pawar? Because you're scoring a self goal. A, B. I totally agree with you about some people accusing
ये क्या logic है?
Washing machine. But you, Aam Aadmi Party and other people have recourse to the law of the land. File a public interest litigation. See what happens.
I was answering to
my point, Anjali, one
correct.
minute. I want to just finish very quickly. My point is, you
no. But Anjali ji, I want Basuri to respond. आप कह रहे हैं अंजलि जी, your argument is why should I चक्की पीसिंग? Let Ajit Pawar do चक्की पीसिंग, then I will do चक्की पीसिंग. ऐसा कोई चक्की पीसिंग का लाइन थोड़ी है.
मैं अर्नब ये कह रही हूँ,
आप कह रहे हैं why he is not चक्की पीसिंग, why should I चक्की पीसिंग? ये क्या है? नहीं, इसको कोई कोर्ट नहीं मानेगी. बांसुरी, no, on a serious note, बांसुरी, no, ये serious मामला हो रहा है. बांसुरी,
on a very serious note,
सुनना नहीं चाहते.
First Sharad Pawar चक्की पीसिंग, then I चक्की पीसिंग, ये क्या है? First Lalu चक्की पीसिंग.
No.
नहीं.
Can I come in? I can have a brief interjection.
May I respond? Yeah.
Basuri's turn, sir. Basuri's turn.
I completely understand the constraints. I very respectfully, Arnab, I understand the constraints of Anjali ji as well as Piyush ji, because the conduct of the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Arvind Kejriwal in scuttling away from the investigating process and not adhering to the ED summons in violation of Section 50, subsection 3 of the PMLA is an indefensible act. This is a party that was actually elected by the people on an anti-corruption plank. But today, they are head to toe dipped in corruption. If you actually see the ED, what is the material against their leaders? The material against their leaders is that when the investigating agencies raided Shri Satyendra Jain and his aides and his friends, they actually recovered more than 1.85 kgs of gold. They actually recovered cash. When they when you talk about, I can even read out all the orders and the observations that the Honorable Supreme Court has actually upheld by the trial court, High Court and the Honorable Supreme Court, that a money trail has been established. There were kickbacks worth 90 to 100 crore rupees in the liquor scam.
So,
in fact, one of the allegations in the charge sheet is that the ex-PA of Shri Sisodia claimed that the report qua the liquor scam was actually presented at the house of Shri Arvind Kejriwal.
No.
Everything is only in the realm of the investigation.
I believe that, see,
today, everything is only in the realm of investigation.
No, I believe that beyond a point, the ED knows that this will go before the court. And I believe the ED will also know. The ED will also know, Basuri and Anjali ji, that if it arrests Arvind Kejriwal and if the courts say tomorrow there was no basis to that arrest, then it will be more than embarrassing for the ED. So I believe ED will go very carefully into it, which is why I think every move it's making now is to be watched very, 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 very closely. Well, I thank you all for that debate.